Okay, today we're going to see about Agile and Scrum. So Agile methodology, we are going to see the definition first. It is a set of principles for software development under which requirements and solutions evolve through the collaborative effort of self-organizing cross-functional teams. Okay, these are the core principles of Agile. So the first one is it emphasizes iterative development. So when we mention iterative, it means that when the process is not a linear process, we can always go back to the previous stages and then refine certain aspect and then repeat the same process again. Okay, it is not as a linear process as in SDLC. Okay, second one, it focuses on customer collaboration. So at each phase or each stage of Agile methodology, we are going to involve the customer. Okay, we are going to get their opinion. We are going to show them our progress and then get their response to improve the product. Okay, the final product. And then the third one is encourage flexibility and adaptability. So it means that previously I mentioned about customer collaboration. So when we finish certain phase, we are going to get the customer, we are going to show that outcome to the customer or the stakeholders and then ask their opinion, get their response. So if they say something, okay, some additional thing that must be included in that product that we have finished for that stage, we should be open for that. Okay, so it means that the process is flexible. Okay, and then we can adapt to if there is some changes that need to be done, we can adapt to that. Okay, then we proceed to the next one. These are the 4 key values of Agile. Okay, the first one is individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So which means it prioritizes human communication and collaboration over rigid system. So the system is not rigid. Okay, as I said, it is not as linear as DLC. Okay. And then we prioritize the communication, show the outcome for each stage to the stakeholder, to the customer to get their response, their opinion, and what can be improved. Okay. So second one is working software over comprehensive documentation, which means deliver the functional software regularly and focus less on extensive documentation. So whenever we finish certain step or we have certain output for that stage, we show that to the customer or to the stakeholder to get their opinion or their response. So that's what it means by functional software regularly. And then customer collaboration over contract negotiation, which means we engage customers throughout the development process at each stage. Okay, for feedback and input from the customer, from the stakeholders. And then responding to change over following a plan. So we adapt to changing requirements even late in development. Okay, this means that, for example, we have finished or we have completed certain phase with the output, and then when we show to the customers, the stakeholders, they give a certain input or for improvement, certain they gave us opinions to improve the product, so we can adapt to that changing requirements. For example, okay, this button shouldn't be here. Okay, this color should be light one. Okay, not the striking one, for example. Okay, so we are flexible and we can adapt to the changing requirements even late in the development. Okay, so the Agile principles emphasize on customer satisfaction. Our objective is to deliver valuable software early and continuously, which means continuously we show the output for each stage in Agile to the customer, and then ask their opinion. Okay, welcoming changing requirements. Okay, adapt to changes. As I said previously, even late in the project for the customer's competitive advantage. Okay, we are open, we are flexible if the customer requests for changing. Okay, and then frequent delivery of working software. Deliver working software frequently with a preference for shorter time scales. Okay, we work on the output, and then try to deliver the working software frequently to get the customer stakeholders input or opinion. Okay, so preferably in the shorter time scales. Okay, and then close daily cooperation. Business people and developers must work together daily. So of course, when we deliver the software frequently to get the customers, the stakeholders response opinion, so we build a kind of cooperation, okay, through the communication between business people and developers, the users and the developers. Project built around motivated individuals. Okay, give them the environment and support their need and trust them to get the job done. Okay, so Agile principles is based on a team which consists of motivated individuals and that which need to be supported and should be trusted to get the job done. Okay, these are some of the Agile methodologies. Common Agile methodologies, we have Scrum, Kanban, Lean, Scrum programming, or known as XP, Feature Driven Development, FDD. So we are going to see the first one only. Framework for Scrum. It is a framework for managing work with emphasis on software development. Okay, so this is definition for Scrum. Okay, Scrum, a framework within which people can address complex adaptive problems, which productively and creatively delivering products of the highest possible value. Okay, as you can see from the figure, we have the product owner, the team, product backlog, sprint planning, meeting, sprint backlog. So those are, and so on. Those are the elements of Scrum framework. Okay, so we are going to see this one by one in brief. So it is as it is part of Agile methodology. So it emphasize iterative and incremental process. It focus on delivering the highest business value in the shortest time. Okay, it use the time box iterations called sprint. Okay, so the work is done incrementally instead of all at once. So kita buat sikit-sikit, step by step. Okay, produce the output stage by stage, not all at once. Okay, bukan buat keseluruhan. Okay, and then product owner. Okay, these are the Scrum rules. We have product owner. Okay, who is the product owner? It can be defined as the features of the product, and okay, so this is the role of the product owner. So product owner is who defines the features of the product and decide on release date and content. Okay, siapa yang menentukan feature produk yang akan dihasilkan, and then dia yang menentukan bila tarikh penyerahan, tarikh release date, and then the content. And then the product owner also responsible for profitability. Okay, return of investment lah. Okay, ni end user, boleh kita kata sebagai end user. Not the end user, I think it's different. Product owner maksudnya siapa yang insist, yang initiate untuk benda tu, untuk software tu di develop lah. Okay, those we can say that. And then Scrum Master ensures the team adheres to Scrum practice, facilitate meetings, and remove impediments. Okay, so this second person second important person, Scrum Master, okay, acts as coach and protector of the team. Okay, you can say as someone who lead the team. And then development team, the cross-functional group of professionals who deliver the product increment. So the development team is the team consists of professionals who work on the product development. Okay, the real person involved. Okay. So now let's look at the Scrum artifacts. Okay, we have product backlog. Okay, what is product backlog? It is an ordered list of everything that is known to be needed in the product, and then it is managed by the product owner. Okay, second one is sprint backlog. Okay, the set of product backlog items selected for the sprint. Okay, so we have the product backlog. So some of the item or list in the product backlog will be selected for the sprint, plus a plan for delivering the product increment and realizing the sprint goal. And then increment means the sum of all the product backlog items completed. So apa yang dah kita selesaikan during a sprint, and the value of increment of all previous sprint. Okay, maksudnya pencapaian, the achievement from all the sprint. Okay, setakat mana dah projek tu berhasil, macam itulah. Okay, sprint backlog tu set of product backlog selected for the sprint. Maksudnya untuk setiap sprint tu kita dah pilih certain product backlog, itu kita panggil sprint backlog. Okay. Okay, apa itu sprint? Okay, what is sprint? It is a time box period. Okay, jangka masa, typically 1 to 4 weeks, in which a done, usable or potentially releasable product increment is created. Maksud satu jangka masa, time period, which has been decided, and then to get certain criteria or certain goal to be done. Okay. So maksudnya untuk satu jangka masa ni, the development team should be done up to this step. Okay. Okay, sprint planning, collaborative meeting where the team decides what work will be performed in the next sprint. Okay, so we have sprint planning. Okay, so these are also under Scrum event. Sprint planning means the collaborative meeting where the team decides what work will be performed in the next sprint. Okay, so let's say we have achieved certain goal in a sprint, and then we are going to have sprint planning, the collaborative meeting, and the team will decide another work that should be done in the next sprint. And then daily Scrum. Okay, what is daily Scrum? A 15-minute time box event for the development team to synchronize activities and create a plan for the next 24 hours. So untuk daily punya plan, 15 minit, development team akan synchronize activities. Okay, what should be done by this person, what should be done by the next person, kan? And then sprint review, a meeting held at the end of the sprint to inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog if needed. Okay, so sprint, it is known as sprint review. Okay, so bila dah selesai, let's say we have decided 1 to 4 weeks for a sprint, and then after 4 weeks we are going to have sprint review, like postmortem. We can say something like postmortem. Okay, whether this each person in the development team has come out with the outcome that he or she need to do. Okay, okay, and then this is also related to the product backlog. Okay, so the sprint review is to review whether we have achieved the goal that we have targeted previously. Okay, and then sprint retrospective, a meeting for the Scrum team to reflect on the past sprint and plan for improvement to be enacted during the next sprint. Okay, so as you can see, there are a lot of meetings. Okay, and then review process of each sprint outcome, right? Okay, So these are the Scrum phases. We have pre-game, game, post-game. Okay. So pre-game refers to the planning and architecture, the product backlog creation and prioritization. Okay. So product backlog, as I said, is a list. Okay, of everything that is known to be needed in the product. Okay. So each list will be given certain priority, so the highest priority will be done first. Okay, so high level design and architecture planning also will be done in the pre-game. Okay, of course everything we need to plan first, and then second phase of the Scrum is game, the development sprint. So this refers to the iterative cycles where the team works on the task selected for the sprint. This is the real development task, which consists of regular inspection and adaptation. And then finally we have post-game closure and release. This is once the product has been completed. Okay, the game phase has been completed. We are going to enter the post-game closure and release. This refers to the final integration. We are going to integrate all parts that have been done in all the sprint, testing, and release of the product, and then preparation of final documentation and user training if needed, such as user manual and so on. Okay, sprint planning. So this is the details of each phase, Scrum phase. Say setting sprint goals, define what the sprint should achieve in terms of product increment and objective. So we are going to decide the objective, what should be achieved. Okay, for each sprint, and then selecting backlog item, choose the item from the product backlog to be included in sprint backlog. Okay, we are going to divide the list into each sprint, and then defining tasks, break down selected backlog item into smaller tasks for the team members to work on. Okay, as I said, the development team members consist or include professionals, maybe the cross-functional. Okay, maybe some will take care of the design, some will take care of the coding, and then they are going in this defining task. So the task will be breakdown, and then from the selected backlog items, and then it will be divided into smaller tasks for the team member to work on. Okay, daily Scrum, purpose of daily stand up. And okay, why do we need for daily Scrum? Because this is to ensure that team members are aligned and identify any obstacles early. So sometimes when we do certain tasks, we have to we face certain challenge, and then sometimes we need to discuss with other team members to solve that issue. Okay, so with this daily Scrum, it ensures that all the team members are aligned and can identify and work together on any obstacles early. So these are the key questions to be asked in daily Scrum. What did you do yesterday? What will you do today? This is to figure out to keep track the achievement of each team member daily. Okay, and then are there any impediments in your way? This is to solve if there is any challenge that or some issue to be solved. And then time box to 15 minutes. Keep the meeting short and focus. Okay. Sprint review, demonstration of increment. Okay, showcase the work completed during the sprint to stakeholder. So sprint review refers emphasize on the demonstration of increment. We are going to show to the stakeholder what have been completed in that sprint, and then we are going to get the stakeholder feedback. Okay, so usually when we demonstrate the product, okay, completed in each sprint, the stakeholder or the customer will give some input and feedback. Okay, for example, okay, this should be improved, this should be modified, and then so we are going to do that for future sprint. And then adaptation of backlog, adjust the product backlog based on the feedback received. Okay, so once you have the stakeholder, the customer's feedback, we are going to adjust the product backlog. Okay, sometimes we need to adjust the product backlog accordingly. Okay, reflect on the sprint, discuss what went well and what could be improved. Okay, this is under sprint retrospective. Okay, macam postmortem lah. Okay, determine actionable step to enhance the process, identify the improvement, and then implement changes, plan and integrate improvement for the next sprint. So of course, when we figure out something need to be improved, we are going to implement changes, okay, for improvement for the next sprint. Okay. Agile advantage. Next, we are going to see what are the advantages of agile methodology. Okay, this is the overall agile methodology. Flexible and adaptability means we quickly respond to changing requirements and market condition. Okay, as I said, for each sprint each phase we are going to show or demonstrate the product regularly, okay, to the customer or stakeholder. So from that we are going to get their response, and we are open and flexible to the changing requirement. And then this also involve the second point, customer involvement and satisfaction. Okay, we continuously engage the customer in our software development to ensure the product meets their needs. Okay, why do we need to always communicate and release the product at each sprint or each phase to the customer? Is because we want the product to meet the customer's need. And then this is also to improve the product quality. Regular testing and feedback loops enhance quality. Of course, when we have flexibility and regular communication with the customers, we are going to have regular testing and also feedback from the customers. Indirectly we can improve the product quality, rather than we just develop the software and then finally only we show the final product to the customer. And then Agile also has another advantage, which is faster time to market. Okay, incremental release allow for quicker deployment. And then it also enhances team collaboration. Cross-functional team work closely, fostering collaboration and innovation. So from sprint retrospective, sprint review, and collaborative meeting regularly, we are going to develop close cooperation among the team members. Okay, we can solve any raise issue together. Okay. However, Agile also has disadvantage. It is the first one is less predictability. Okay, because we are always open to the changing requirement, it can make it difficult to predict timelines and budget. Okay. Previously I mentioned we always have regular communication with the customer, with the stakeholder, and since we are open to their input, their feedback, sometimes the customer or the stakeholder will require something to be added, and this maybe will affect our timeline and budget also. Okay, and requires cultural shift. Team and organization must embrace a new way of thinking and working. Okay, for example, we are already satisfied with the previously linear working process of software development, so we have to change to this new way of thinking and working. Okay, and then potential for scope creep. Frequent changes can lead to uncontrolled growth of project scope. Okay, sometimes when we are open to the customer requirements, sometimes the project scope will grow. Okay, asalnya nak buat sikit je, we are initial plan, we plan only a small scope, and then based on customer requirement, they request this, request that, and then the scope can be bigger. Okay, Kemudian resource intensive, requires significant time and commitment from team members and stakeholders. Okay. Okay, of course, to deliver the product frequently at each sprint and in a shorter time requires significant time and also commitment and also discipline from team members and stakeholders. Okay. Now let's look at another one, Scrum advantages. Clear roles and responsibilities, regular feedback and improvement, increase productivity also because we focus on sprint and regular reviews, boost efficiency. Okay. Then from the regular release to the customer, we actually impose transparency and visibility. Regular updates and meeting keeps everyone informed and aligned. Okay, up to which stage. And then product focus on deliverables, emphasize on creating valuable product increments, keep the team focused. Okay, I think the last one is Scrum disadvantage. I think the same point as Scrum disadvantage. Okay, requires discipline and commitment from the team members. Okay, teams must adhere strictly to Scrum practices for success. So everyone in the team should be adhere strictly and then discipline. Okay, and then potential for misalignment, misunderstanding of roles and responsibilities can hinder progress. Heavy reliance on teamwork. Okay, success of each sprint depends on strong collaboration and communication. And also, Scrum is not suitable for all projects. So some projects with highly predictable and stable requirement may not benefit from Scrum because Scrum we open for customer or stakeholder feedback, so the scope can grow bigger. So it is not suitable for the project with the tight budget, tight timeline. Okay,